Welcome back to the channel. So we are doing the toSum, a Leetcode exercise in Golang. Well, as I explained in the same exercise in solution in C++ earlier, please see my channel to also see the C++ version if you want. The idea is that we have two parameters to our function. We have one array of integers, which is called nums, and one target integer, one integer called target. And you want to look in these two nums, in this array of integers. You want to find two numbers, which when you add them, you get the target number, right? Once you found them, you're going to return their position in the array. So here we have this input, and we have a target 9, as we see in the test case here. So who plus who will be 9? 2 plus 7 will be 9, so then we return the output. Okay, the first number is at position 0, the second number is at position 1. It's not necessarily to be like this. We could have this scenario, for example. Right, so then it would be, you know, position 2 plus 7, position 0 and position 1 to 3, position 3. So you would have the output 0 and 3. So how do we do this? Well, the optimal solution, as I explained in the C++ solution, but we want to keep, of course, we are going to iterate the numbers because we need to search in this array, but we want to keep track of what we iterated. So let's say we make like a map, and the map is a collection of key value pairs. And we want to make a map, and we have like a map of where our key is the current number, and our value is the position of it, right? So example of one entry in this map would be, number 2 at position 0, or number 15 at position 2, and so on, right? Let's delete this. So we want to make this map where we like store, as we iterate these numbers, we are going to store them in this map. We start with an empty map, of course, and initially we are going to store 2 at position 0. Why do we want to store this? Because as we go through each number, we're going to look, hey, before we store it, we're going to ask the map, hey, do you have the other number that I need? Because when you iterate these numbers, you know what your target is because you have the target as a parameter, and you know what the current number is. So if you say target minus current number, when in this case target is 9, so if you say 9 minus 2, in this case you would need a 7. Do you have already the 7 in the map? If yes, return it. Return its position. If not, keep adding to the map. So this is kind of our algorithm. So let's reverse this here. So let's say this is our map, right? This is our map of entries. Let's delete this. And it's empty for now. There's nothing. And we are going to start iterating the numbers. So the first number is 2, and for 2. For each number in nums, so we have now 2. 2 is the current number, so we say, hey, we ask the map, do you have target minus 2? Do you have 7 in there? No. Add 2 with its position in the map, and keep going. So now we add 2. We add an entry with 2 and the position 0, because this is at position 0, and we keep going with the for loop. The next number will be 7. The next number will be 7, and we say, hey map, do you have target minus, and our target is, in this test case, is 9. Do you have 9 minus current number is 7, minus 7? Do you have 2 in there? We have it, because well, in this scenario, you know, it's literally the previous number. If you have it, then problem is solved. Why is the problem solved? Because we need the position of the two numbers, and we have the position of 2 because we have it in the map. It's at position 0. And we have the position of 7 because it's the current number, and we know the index of the current number. It's 1, right? So let's translate all this into code. Let's delete all this explanation here. So we have our function, right? So we have, let's create this map. So we have a map visited is a map make map integer to integer. Then we just iterate for, and then we have, now we need to ask this question, because we know that what we are interested in, let's call it x. We are interested in the target minus value, right? So we are going to look up in the map if there is such a number, because that will be the other number that we need. Found, okay, oops, is visited of x. And if okay, that means it was indeed found. We just have a result, and this is a int of 2 elements, found and I, the current index. This is the index where found, where x was in the map, right? And the I is the current current index of the index of the current element. Excuse me, right? So this is literally all there is to it. So then we just return this result. If it's not okay, since this returns here, the rest will not be executed. But if it's not okay, if it was not found, then all we need to do is just to add the current value to the map, right? Because we need to populate it. As we keep going through the numbers, through the input elements, we keep adding them to the visited until, bam, until we nail the previous one. Okay, so visited of value, because the value, which is the number, is our key, our key of the map, and that one is I, which is the position where the value resides in nums, right? So if we find the number in the map, we return this result. But if we don't, yeah. Okay. So and the question is actually, because this is not that difficult to the most important question that we should ask ourselves, I think, at the end of solving a Leetcode problem is not because we don't, yeah, we found or you know, either you found it yourself, or you know, you struggled a bit, and you should always struggle a bit, by the way, to try to solve it yourself, or either you solved it yourself or you took the solution. The most important question that you should ask at the end of each exercise is, what do I learn from this exercise that can help me solve similar problems in the future, right? What is my main takeaway from this one algorithm that I can apply in the future in similar problems? And I think if we look at this code here, um, please correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but if we look at this code, the main takeaway here is this thing, this line 2, the map. Um, Why? Because this is a very useful data structure. We can use as a sort of a temporary, let's say temporary storage to, you know, to look up things later during our solution. The map is quick to search into. The lookups are fast. So yeah, um, at most, so of course, this will take, so if we think in terms of complexity, right? The time complexity, like how much time will this take? Well, you know, you might have the input, you might have the inputs, I don't know, 1, 19, I don't know, 109, 19, 287, 34, 35, Jesus, I don't know, 20. And you might have a target of 129, right? So which two numbers when added give 129? So you have this and this. You're going to have to go through all the numbers. And this will be, in the, let's say in the worst case scenario, because you're going to have to traverse all the numbers. Because 20 might be either the last one, or it might be, I don't know, might be here. So it's either the biggest time consumption would be O(n), and the space complexity would be, I mean, space, like a space would being how much memory does your solution occupy. And I mean, you know, I might have to put all these numbers into my map until I find the one I'm interested in. So space will also be O of n, right? Uh, Algorithm complexity, right? Yeah. So okay. So I think the most important thing to take away from this true sum, the usage of maps. This you know, this is a really good exercise for starting Leetcode, and uh, when you start, you kind of need to build what I like to call the, let's put it like, prob problem solving framework. What is a framework? Is a framework is a what is this? It will be a set of tools that you use in order to solve all problems you are faced with. So thank you, and basically this channel will be all about grinding algorithms, and we are going to so you know, subscribe, because we are going to go through all of the possible algorithms. And it's not about the solution, because you can find the solution in a billion of other videos, but it's all about this question. How, at the end of every single video, we are going to ask ourselves, how am I going to expand? How am I going to expand my, you know, my problem solving framework? What tool do I take from each exercise on Leetcode, on this wonderful website? What tool does each exercise give me so I can solve, so I become a better problem solver, right? Because this is the goal. Thanks, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.